Hello and welcome back to ROADTRIpVIA, the once-a-day road trip trivia quiz. Today is day number 149. It is May 29th. It's my best friend, Little Nick's birthday. Little Nick does not watch this channel. He doesn't like trivia. He doesn't care, but it is his birthday, and I never miss the opportunity to give him a shout out. Happy birthday, man. Hope you and the family are doing good. Everybody else, 21 questions, 20 up front, and the question 21 tiebreaker at the very end. Good luck. Question 1. The Big Apple as a nickname for New York City really took hold in the 1920s jazz era. In which state is the city named after a New York City borough that was incorporated in 1857 and is known as the Little Apple? The Big Apple is in New York. The Little Apple is a city called Manhattan in the state of Kansas. Kansas is the answer. Question number 2. The last known communication from this person was with the ship Itasca. She traveled on her most famous journey with Fred Noonan in the Electra, a craft built by Lockheed. Who was this famous American pilot who disappeared over the Pacific Ocean while attempting to fly around the world in 1937? Also from Kansas, her name was Amelia Earhart. Question number 3. The character of Mr. Toad from The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad is from what 1908 book by Kenneth Grahame, which was made into the 1995 movie in which Mr. Toad is visited by Mole and Rat? That book and movie is called The Wind in the Willows. Question number 4. On a circuit diagram, this component's symbol is a zigzag line. In a series circuit containing more than one of these components, their values can simply be added up. What are the names of these circuit components, a common example of which is a light bulb filament? This circuit component is a resistor. Question number 5. It spanned from the end of the War of 1812 to the start of the American Civil War in 1861. What term, a Latin word meaning before the war, was given to the period in the U.S. characterized by the use of slavery and the culture it fostered? What was the term for that period? The word we're looking for is antebellum. Question number 6. This disease is commonly treated with medications such as oseltamivir and zanamivir. One outbreak of this disease in 1918 was hastened by the movement of troops in World War I. What is the name for this group of viruses that comes in Spanish, bird, and swine types? The answer is influenza, or flu. Question number 7. This biblical hero was abducted from Jerusalem by Nebuchadnezzar along with his friends, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. What was the name of this hero who survived a den of lions after being accused of worshiping God? This popular biblical story was about Daniel in the den of lions. Question number 8. Isis created a serpent to poison this god in order to force him to reveal his true name. This god fights against those attacks from the giant serpent Apep with help from Set. What is the name of this god worshipped at Heliopolis, the Egyptian god of the sun? The Egyptian sun god is Ra. Question number 9. Conan O'Brien wrote one episode of this television show that sees a fight against spending settlement money on a monorail. This show has a yearly Treehouse of Horror episode around Halloween. What is the name of this animated sitcom? The Treehouse of Horror episodes are about as scary of movies or TV shows as I watch. The answer is The Simpsons. Nothing scarier than the Treehouse of Horror. Question 10. Just before signing the Declaration of Independence, what man warned the other signers? We must indeed all hang together, or most assuredly, we shall all hang separately. When you have a good quote, you just can't go wrong with guessing Benjamin Franklin. Benjamin Franklin is the answer. Question number 11. Quantum mechanics suggests that light has properties of both a particle and one of these things. These things can be transverse or longitudinal, and sound is transmitted by the transverse type of these things. What are these things that have amplitude, frequency, and length? These things we're looking for are waves. Waves. Question number 12. This character in Winnie the Pooh stories is organized and sometimes bossy. What is the name of this self-appointed leader who calls many of the animals in the 100-acre wood his friends and relations? That character is Rabbit. Question 13. After the California gold rush subsided, what was the name of the famous massive silver deposit that was discovered under Nevada's Mount Davidson that started a silver rush in 1858? That big old chunk of silver was called the Comstock Lode. Question 14. The third novel written by Ernest Hemingway and published in 1929. What was the title of the novel that tells the story of Lieutenant Frederick Henry and his love affair with Catherine during World War I in Italy? This Ernest Hemingway novel was called A Farewell to Arms. Question 15. New York University professor Samuel Morse assigned a set of dots and dashes to each letter of the English alphabet and allowed for the simple transmission of complex messages with what communication invention? To transmit Morse code, you used the telegraph. Question 16. One poem written by a famous member of this movement asks, what happens to a dream deferred? What was the name of this movement that created a rebirth of African American literature and included members such as Zora Neale Hurston and Langston Hughes? Those two people were both prominent members of the Harlem Renaissance. Question number 17. The highest point in this national park is Telescope Peak. This park was once home to the glacial Lake Manly, and a current feature is a dry lakebed known as Badwater Basin. What is this California national park home to the point with the lowest elevation in North America? Looking for the name of the national park. The answer is Death Valley National Park. Question 18. This musical follows the birth of the United States from the perspective of an immigrant who played a key role in the formation of the government. What is the name of this award-winning musical that follows the life of America's first Secretary of the Treasury and founder of the National Bank? For the name of the musical, if you guessed Alexander Hamilton, you would be wrong, because the musical is just Hamilton. Question 19. What is the largely historical term used by Southerners to describe opportunistic Northerners who came to the Southern states after the American Civil War, who were perceived to be exploiting the local populace for their own financial, political, and/or social gain? What's the term we're looking for? These opportunistic Northerners were often called carpetbaggers. And question 20. This organ has cells called alpha, beta, gamma, and delta that produce important hormones such as glucagon. The immune system attacks this organ in diabetes. What is the name of this organ that controls blood sugar levels? The answer is the pancreas. All right, that is it for today. Thank you for watching today's episode of ROADTRIpVIA. We've started a whole new week. Man, I guess it's going to be June this week, so we're almost halfway through the year. June starts later this week. Today is May 29th. It is my best friend, Little Nick's birthday. Happy birthday again to Little Nick. I said it at the beginning of the episode, but I gotta say it every year. There's going to be a link to a trivia quiz at the end of this video, which I think was the very first Little Nick birthday trivia. It's called the Little Trivia. It's just a trivia quiz about things that are very small. So you could play that if you want to continue with the Little Nick birthday trivia week. So anyways, question 21 for today. Quizman wants to know how many people who watch his videos subscribe to the channel. If there are 4,000 people daily watching the videos, and he knows that 2 out of every 5 watcher is also a subscriber, how many people in Quizman's daily audience are also subscribers? 4,000 daily people, 2 out of every 5 is also a subscriber. How many subscribers are there? The answer to this question is 1,600. To do that, you take 4,000 divided by 5. That gives you 800. 2 out of every 5, you times that by 2. 800 times 2 is 1,600. So out of the 4,000 people daily watching the videos, 1,600 are also subscribers. Thank you to all of my subscribers, and thank you to everybody who watches this channel. If you're not a subscriber yet, now's a good time to join. See you tomorrow.